Hi everyone! Wendy here today with a video on how to self-massage and relieve muscle pain at home using a simple tool called the Miracle Ball. If you don't already have this, do yourself a favor and order yourself a set on Amazon. It even comes with a little book of exercises and stretches. This is not a paid endorsement, just something I wanted to share that I've used myself in my Pilates practice over the years and at home to relieve my own chronic back pain and muscle tension. So today's video will focus on the lower back, the hips, the glutes, and the hamstrings. So let's get started. I'm going to first start with both balls here. And I'm going to lay on my back, feet about hip width apart, and I'm going to lift the hips up and place one ball in the middle of each glute. So you're in the thickest part of the glute muscle here. And just resting your arms by your sides. And the key to this really working well is being able to fully relax and breathe and to hold these positions for at least a couple of minutes. The longer you can hold the positions, the more relaxed your muscles will be. So I will move along a little faster just for time's sake for the video, but at home, please take your time. And you can even repeat positions over again if you're still tight in certain areas. So from here, I'm just going to gently swing my hips side to side, just rolling the ball across the middle of the glute, just loosening up the hip joints a bit, and then back to center here. I'm going to then slide the balls down a little bit, so just an inch or so down, so you are at now the very bottom of the glute where the hamstring meets the glute basically, and just relax. Let your body weight just sink into the balls and breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Okay, I'm going to take one ball away, so I'm going to lift the hips, take one ball out, and I'm going to place the other one right about at my tailbone. If your tailbone is really sensitive, then you can move it up a little bit higher so you're not on the most sensitive point there. And then you are going to let your weight just sink right into the ball. Think like Princess and the Pea, balancing yourself on the ball here, and really relax and breathe. This is going to really help realign the pelvis and the spine back to its neutral and most relaxed position. So as you lay here and as you relax more and more and your lower back muscles start to lengthen out, you want to imagine that your low back is just kind of hanging like a little hammock toward the floor here. So it's totally relaxed and it's just hanging. Okay, and then from here, we're going to take the legs up one at a time to a little tabletop position. So I'm going to take the knee up, take the other knee up, and then I'm going to extend my legs up toward the ceiling here. Stretching the backs of the legs. And then go ahead and bend the knees and flex the feet like you're sliding your feet down an imaginary wall. And slide them back up. And point at the top. And again, flex and slide. And slide and point. Go ahead, turn the feet out, little V position like a little froggy, and we're gonna bend. Take a little plie here, keeping the heels together, and then extend the legs, bringing the inner thighs together, and bend. Bring the heels towards the sit bones, and extend. One more, and bend, and extend. We're going to turn the legs back to parallel. You're going to grab your other ball here, and we're going to take the ball between the inner thighs, just above the knees. So you're giving it a little squeeze, and then we're going to rotate the legs around the ball, outward, and then inward. Outward and inward. And we're loosening up the hip joints here, right in the socket. All right, we're going to take that ball out. Go ahead and take your heels back together. We're going to bend it into a little froggy, and then just continue to bring the feet down towards the floor. And then relax. So you can bring your feet together, so the bottoms of the feet are touching. And then just let the knees hang out to the sides. And then I kind of like to rock and roll a little bit, side to side. Give the thighs a little extra stretch there. And then back to center. Go ahead and bring the legs back to a parallel position. We're going to lift the tail off of the ball, take the ball away, and then let your back just kind of melt into the floor. Hopefully you're feeling a little more lengthened out and a little more loose and stretched. If not, you can always repeat that sequence again and take a little more time if you need it. So I'm going to come up now and do the next set of exercises for the glutes and hamstrings. So I'm going to take one ball underneath the hip here. I'm going to take my weight into that side, and I'm going to just do little circles. I'm going clockwise. And then reverse that circle, going the other way. And if you're finding little sore spots or tight spots, spend a little extra time there. Take your circle a little bit bigger if you want to hit some other areas. This is your time to do whatever you need to do to loosen up the hips and glutes. Those are the muscles that, when they are tight, also pull on the lower back. It's all related. So when you want to loosen up the lower back, you've got to loosen up the glutes and the hips and the hamstrings too. All right, then from here, I'm going to roll the ball from my sits bone basically all the way to the back of the knee. So I'm rolling right down the center of the hamstring. And then if you're really tight behind the knee, sometimes I like to just take it behind the knee and just roll little circles. Okay, and we're going to repeat that on the other side. Starting underneath the sits bone here, and then get it onto the hip. Take your weight into the ball and draw little circles. And reverse. And then let's roll out a hamstring and the back of the knee. Okay, then I'm going to place it behind my knee and do some little circles behind my knee here. All right, and then I like to finish with the hamstrings by doing this stretch. So you're going to take one ball underneath each sits bone. So you are at the very top of the hamstring where you meet the glute here. So you are propped up, seated nice and tall. And we're going to take a little flex of the feet and point and flex and point and flex and point and flex and point. And then you can just relax the feet and ankles. Get yourself a little more balanced if you need to, and then just slide the hands toward the ankles, just as far as you can take it here. You should feel a stretch, but not so uncomfortable that you can't hold it for a little bit. Don't forget to breathe. Okay, and then we're going to come back up to nice and tall, hands on the floor, and then just give a little shake out of the legs. And then we're going to lift a hip, take each ball out, and notice how nice and long and flat your hamstrings feel against the floor. It's a very lengthened out feeling, and it's great, and it releases the lower back, just that in and of itself. Shake out a little bit there, and then I'm just going to finish with a final little back stretch and relax. So we're going to do this with 2 balls, and we'll take it at the, I'm going to take it actually more towards the top of the pelvis here, and we're going to take a knee to tabletop and a knee to tabletop, and then go ahead and tuck the knees into the chest. And breathe. Alrighty, place one foot down on the floor at a time. Lift the tail off, take the balls out, and melt your back into the floor. And hopefully it feels much more lengthened out than when you started. So thank you for watching. I hope you feel better, and stay tuned for my part 2 video where I focus on the upper back, shoulders, and neck. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.